Yeah, go with you, man. Yeah, I'll be right. What do you want me to actually do?
Hello everyone and welcome back to game week 4 of the 23-24 PTC Therapeutics Championship, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, and my co-commentator Daniel Holt for this game between AFC Bournemouth Warriors and Manchester City. How are you, Daniel?
I'm well, how are you, man?
Not bad at all. First time commentating?
Yep.
Well, this should be a very good game. AFC Bournemouth Warriors in 10th, Manchester City in 11th. Let's bring up the league table very quickly, just so you can see how these two have fared across the 23-24 campaign. Manchester City with a game in hand of AFC Bournemouth Warriors, but have plenty of ground to make up. 9 points the difference between the two teams. AFC Bournemouth Warriors all but safe from the threat of relegation, and just above them is yourself in Sale United. So a win for AFC Bournemouth Warriors in this game would see them go within a point of Sale United. How have you found the season so far for Sale?
It's been a great season. We brought in new players and brought in a new dynamic, a more passing game. We did very well in the first half of the season. We had a difficult few weekends, but it's been a good one.
I had a good conversation with Sam earlier, and everything you've just said, he kind of touched on, in the fact that you're a team in transition, you've brought new players in, and I just really like watching Sale. They look like they've got some real purpose and direction now, and the fact that you're pretty much guaranteed to secure safety for the next season gives you a really good foundation to build on. So the sky is the limit. We've seen teams such as Sale make their way and gain momentum in the National League. So next season, I'm sure you'll have even higher aspirations of maybe finishing beyond 10th place or sorry, 9th place or beyond. And there's no reason why you can't continue to develop. You're also without David D, obviously, this weekend, who's a really bright, young, up-and-coming player.
Yeah, I really believe we can be a mid-table team next season. We got a young team, Sam knows what he wants, and we're going to give up for him.
Absolutely. So to go through the squads of these two teams, AFC Bournemouth Warriors have Chris King as the designated goalkeeper. They have Jack Ewins in the centre, Dakota Hannam on the left-hand side, Adam Sevenoaks on the right. Thumbs up from the keepers. Before Ian Harley, our central referee, gets things underway here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre for this game between AFC Bournemouth Warriors and Manchester City. We are underway, so to go through the squads of Manchester City. In goal, they have number 1, Jay Picton. In the centre, they have Oscar Spink with wingers of Kareem Ali and Lucas Veza O'Brien. What are your predictions for this one, David? Sorry, Daniel.
Daniel, yeah. I think it will be a close game. I hope it's a close game. I think both teams are working on things. And I think it will be a 1-0 win, but I don't know which team that will be.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth are probably the favourites. They're just a little bit more experienced in the National League. Manchester City have such a young squad, and this being the first time competing in the Championship. So I just hope they can take everything they've learned from this season and can come back even stronger next season. Very similar to Sale. You learn from the experiences in one year, take them into the next, and you continue to develop. Contact there from Lucas Veza O'Brien. Contact foul awarded to Jack Ewins and AFC Bournemouth Warriors.
Man City are getting better and better every week, and I do think they will take that forward next season.
Yeah, there's so many teams that applies to. I've been watching Nottingham Forest closely this weekend, and Nottingham Forest yet to secure a win. They've only got 1 point in the standings, but their performances in no way reflect that. They've been far better than their placement in the table implies, and Man City are the same. They've grown week after week, and I'm really excited to see what they can do in game week 5 and in the 24-25 campaign.
And goalkeeper doing some good defending coming in near post.
Yeah, good player. But Adam Sevenoaks with the corner ball to Dakota Hannam, fires it towards the right-hand post, and Adam Sevenoaks millimetres away from making contact. Could have easily opened the scoring there. 2.5 minutes played. Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 0.
He just needed to react a little bit quicker and he would have got on ground.
Scheduled at the same time on Court B. Norwich City take on Muscle Warriors, a game that could be really significant for that race for 3rd position in the Championship. Jack Ewins trying to bypass Oscar Spink.
Did he get it wrong?
Adam Sevenoaks vacates the space on the right, so Ewins dribbles down into this bottom right-hand corner.
Bournemouth are really getting going now. Man City needs to get it out of there.
Yeah, Bournemouth started game week 4 with a 3-1 defeat against Dudley before facing Nottingham Forest yesterday. Nottingham Forest were all but certain to secure their first 3 points and win over AFC Bournemouth Warriors before an equaliser, probably 3 or 4 minutes into additional time. Dakota Hannam, the scorer, so rescued a point for his team today, a 3-1 defeat against Leeds Dynamos, and this their last game of the weekend. Manchester City started with a 7-0 defeat to Greenbank, and on paper that may seem like a really dominant, comprehensive victory for the league leaders, but there was positive to take from Manchester City as Jack Ewins now tries to pass to Sevenoaks.
A good bit of movement.
Yeah, advantage played. Just slight confusion amongst some of the Bournemouth players as Lucas Vezza-O'Brien's appealing for the ball, but following that 7-0 defeat to Greenbank, with a 3-0 loss to Norwich, a 3-0 loss to Middlesbrough, today presents their most credible opportunity for registering points and all wins. They face Bournemouth here before facing bottom of the league Nottingham Forest later on this afternoon. So Spink into Kareem Ali, met quickly by Ewins. An attempt at goal from Adam Sevenoaks, well covered by the Manchester City goalkeeper.
It was a good ball, just needed somebody to get on the end of it.
Yeah. You got any more games to play this weekend, Daniel?
Yeah, we got Eastside after this.
Tough game.
Yeah. I think we could get points out of it.
Yeah, it's regrouping after that disappointing Villa defeat. But I watched your games against Middlesbrough and Leeds yesterday, and them scorelines were probably unfair to Sale United. You were absolutely brilliant in that 0-0 draw with Middlesbrough, and 2-0 was probably flattering to Leeds because you deserved more than a defeat in that one.
I mean, we played well against the top teams all season, but we just don't quite get the points. I think next season we will. We got a sub, I think. A sub going on. You know who that is?
Yep, Oscar Spink, the number 20, coming off him and being replaced by his brother Sebastian Spink. Just getting an adjustment to the chair of Oscar Spink. Not sure why that is holding up play. Soon to be back underway. Let's bring you the score on Court B. Currently nothing to separate Muscle Warriors and Norwich City.
Goal kick.
Lucas Vezza-O'Brien pressuring Jack Ewins.
Somebody needs to get behind me.
Yeah, this is the big gap in behind Lucas Vezza-O'Brien, which now Jack Ewins is going to try and capitalise on. Sebastian Spink involved immediately since his introduction for his brother.
We got to go up.
Another substitute for Manchester City. We'll see Oscar Spink re-enter the action in place of Sebastian Spink. So obviously just needed to adjust something with Oscar Spink's chair. I think he's got the thumbs up from Paul Yates, our assistant, on the left-hand side. So play will continue. Jay Picton with the free kick. Jack Ewins.
Man City might be able to get it forward again. Free kick. To Bournemouth.
Goals have been hard to come by for Manchester City, as Dakota Hannum finds Adam Sevenoaks. Just the 4 goals Manchester City have scored, as Oscar Spink does brilliantly well to just limit the opportunity of Adam Sevenoaks, who almost had the opportunity to just drive onto that ball and over the line.
Yeah, that was a good bit of defending right on the line.
Good defending from Jay Picton. Jack Ewins sent an effort goal bound. We've had 10 minutes. Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 0.
And the goal kick can come.
Oscar Spink, Dakota Hannum.
A good bit of work by Spink. He got a ball forward. Turn around now.
Jack Ewins trying to force the ball past the defensive duo of Manchester City, met by a very stubborn Oscar Spink. He has Dakota Hannum on the edge of the box. 2-on-1 in favour of Manchester City. Will give their defence a little bit of respite. Good pick off from Ewan. Sevenoaks lets it run across the face of his chair. Good defending from Oscar Spink. Absorbing a lot of pressure, but doing really well to ensure Bournemouth do not score. All the way to Dakota Hannum, far left-hand side. Kareem Ali, fairly isolated in the 11.5 minutes we've had. Dakota Hannum has an attempt, once again blocked by Oscar Spink. Yet to trouble Chris King in the AFC Bournemouth Warriors goal. They may have an opportunity to do so now. Lucas Feather-O'Brien deep in this right-hand corner. Has to be careful, both himself and Oscar Spink too close to one another.
A bit of communication needed there. But we got it forward quite quickly, Man City. Ryan, I know you said Man City are struggling for goals, but you know how can you defend, don't they?
Yeah, I've just got the graphic up that James Simpson and Stephen Miller-Whittaker, the only 2 players to register goals for them in the 23-24 campaign. I assume their other 2 goals that they've registered have come in the way of own goals. So it's just that creativity.
Well, if you can defend well, you can get points.
Exactly that, and I think Sale United are the perfect team to reference with regards to that. Have such a solid, stable base with obviously Jack Hassan and Sam Turner as the defensive pair. And it gives you and your teammates something to build on. And Manchester City, with Jay Picton and Oscar Spink, will be hoping to replicate that. Bournemouth Warriors slightly more prolific in front of goal. Ryan Skinner currently on the bench, their most prolific. 7 goals to his name across the season thus far. Dakota Hannum with 4. Adam Sevenoaks with 2. And that's a nice goal kick there. And Lucas Feather-O'Brien is going to try and pressure Chris King, who has a touch for the first time this game, or certainly in the last 10 or 12 minutes. Not before 2-on-1 was awarded in favour of Manchester City. Oscar Spink to take. Lucas Vezra-O'Brien on the right. Kareem Ali, who receives it on the left. Can't quite angle his chair well enough, so pressure put on the Manchester City defence. Dakota Hannum's going to try and capitalise.
Man City ball.
Still 0-0 on Court B between Muscle Warriors and Norwich. That can also be found live across the WFA's YouTube. Oscar Spink here for Manchester City into Kareem Ali. That's better, trying to create them triangles and bypass Adam Sevenoaks, who now has possession in attack for AFC Bournemouth Warriors. 5 minutes to go. Bournemouth 0, Man City 0.
He's managed to flick it out in number 18. He's taking it back down the wing.
Jack Ewins trying to find Dakota Hannum. Oscar Spink now. Going to try and create an overload.
He got support as well. Free kick.
Once again, two Man City players approaching the same ball at the same time. 2-on-1 awarded in favour of AC Bournemouth Warriors. But impressed with Man City. I think Oscar Spink, you can see that he has quality, and he's really taking the game by the scruff of his neck. Key to everything they do in defence, and is also influential in attack. So no doubt if they're to have any success in front of goal, he will play a contributing part.
Man City really putting up a good fight here. And we also a defensive line.
Yeah, they'll be happy if they can take this 0-0 scoreline into the half-time break. Late pressure though. Jack Ewins trying to force an opening. Dakota Hannum trapped in that top left-hand corner. Kareem Ali does well.
Man City kicking.
Oscar Spink to take. Intercepted by Jack Ewins, and Adam Sevenoaks has an attempt at goal wide of the right hand post. Sevenoaks had a little bit more time than I think he thought. Could have troubled Jay Picton, but
I think they just need to get that pass and then they can get it moving. But they're doing very well to keep Bournemouth at bay.
have to be careful of loose goal kicks such as that.
Yeah.
Don't want to gift anything to AFC Bournemouth Warriors. We know they have quality. We know that they can capitalise on loose balls like that, shown in that 1-1 draw against Nottingham Forest yesterday afternoon. Adam Sevenoaks with a follow-up effort. Good defending from the Manchester City goalkeeper Jay Picton. Weaves his way round, and brilliant last-ditch defending from Oscar Spink.
It was last man there. Very well defended.
Spink, once again, possession gifted back to Bournemouth. Want to see them just take a little bit more time and be slightly more careful with them deep set pieces. Approaching the final minute of the first half. AFC Bournemouth Warriors 0, Manchester City 0.
Man City just need to hold on for 90 more seconds and then they can regroup.
It's good work from Kareem Ali to trouble Chris King slightly. Worth noting that AFC Bournemouth Warriors, they are a well-established championship side. They've won the championship before. They've competed in the top flight division, so have experience on their side. Certainly Chris King and Ryan Skinner have featured in the Premiership. Chris King. Good from Kareem Ali. Lucas Veza O'Brien trying to receive that pick off from Kareem Ali in the final 30 seconds. Need to be careful committing a lot of players forward. 20 seconds to go. Oscar Spink to take.
Bournemouth have got a lot of people back as well.
Had the regulation 20 now into any additional time that Ian Harley has accrued across this first half. Chris King into the side of Jack Ewens. Good defensive work from Lucas Veza O'Brien, but a very late opportunity. Dakota Hannum on the left, back into Jack Ewens, and he finds the gap, but brilliant defending from Jay Pixon. Out of play for a Bournemouth ball.
That was brilliant defending on the line again for Man City.
Into the box from Adam Sevenoaks, trying to find the gap and just wide of the right post. Very late rally from Bournemouth.
Man City are really holding on now.
They'll be hoping for that half-time break to come. Steve Crump just signals something to the referee. I think the corner is going to be retaken by Adam Sevenoaks.
I think the goalkeeper moved a bit too quickly. He came off the line, I think.
Nearly a minute and a half into additional time as Chris King fires an effort wide of the left-hand post, and that will be the last action of the first half. AFC Bournemouth Warriors 0, Manchester City 0. Fairly dominant, certainly in terms of attacking presence from AFC Bournemouth Warriors, but a brilliant defensive display from Manchester City. Join myself, Ryan Sipple, and my co-commentator Daniel Holt for the second half shortly. Hello everyone and welcome back to game week 4 of the 23-24 PTC Therapeutics Championship, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, and my co-commentator Daniel Holt for the action between AFC Bournemouth Warriors and Manchester City, currently at a deadlock 0-0. Give me your thoughts on that first half, Daniel.
I thought Man City defending very, very well. He really got behind the ball, made sure Bournemouth couldn't drive it forward. Obviously Bournemouth have a bit more going forward, but we all expecting that. And I think Man City really put up a good fight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do in this second half, because it looks like they've made 3 substitutions in the break. Oscar Spink, Kareem Ali and Lucas Veza O'Brien have all made way for Sebastian Spink, James Simpson and Stephen Miller-Whittaker. So I'm sure the coaches will be hoping for more of the same, but when you're changing 80-90% of your team, it could take them 5, 10, 15 minutes to really get comfortable and grow into this game. So I'm sure Bournemouth will probably be happy with the alterations made by Man City, because they were really struggling to break down the City side in the first half.
It's a brave move, but it might pay off.
Exactly. It's the risk versus reward factor, isn't it? It could prove to be a masterstroke from Brad Heap. I
can't believe we've only got 1 weekend left.
It's gone so quickly, hasn't it?
So quick. I mean, the year flies by.
So thumbs up from Chris King and Jay Pixton before we are underway in this second half. Jack Ewins with the kick-off. So to go through the squads very quickly, in goal for Bournemouth they have Chris King. In front, Jack Ewins. Wingers of Adam Sevenoaks and Dakota Hannam. Single option on the bench, that of Ryan Skinner. And for Manchester City they have Jay Pixton in goal. In front of him now is Sebastian Spink. On the left they have number 7 James Simpson. Jack Ewins attempts an effort at goal over to Sevenoaks. Jay Pixton called into defensive duties almost immediately in this second. And Stephen Miller-Whittaker also in attack.
The attack is still ongoing. Sevenoaks trying to get it round. Still on one.
Yeah.
Both it is well. It's important for Man City to get it out here with a good pass.
Yeah, Sebastian Spink now taking on the responsibilities vacated by his brother in the first half, who did a brilliant job. Doesn't quite make the contact he would have wanted, so Adam Sevenoaks quick to pressure the Manchester City number 17. Jack Ewins now cut off by James Simpson. Good work.
I don't know how I feel about getting an outfield play to take your goal kick. I think it can narrow your options quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it does work for some teams.
It does. Stephen Miller-Whittaker with his first involvement since his introduction at the half-time break. The most experienced player in the Manchester City team. I think he's the oldest as well. Such a young team. The average age is probably the youngest team in the Championship, if not the National League as a whole. So they've got time on their side, and they'll take so many positives just from the experience of competing against some of the country's best teams. As a yellow card for Dakota Hannam, I very much assume that he left the court to avoid a 2-on-1 infringement that Dakota Hannum has seen on your screens. Goes in the book. Free kick to Jay Pixton and Manchester City into Sebastian Spink. James Simpson, 2-on-1. Spink and Simpson too close to one another, surrounding Jack Ewins.
He goes and he could spread out a bit more. Well, when you're on the defensive, that can be quite difficult.
Yeah. One thing I have noticed, referencing Ryan Skinner as a substitute on the bench of AFC Bournemouth Warriors, he's actually in his day chair, not his strike force, so he must not be available for selection for this one. So AFC Bournemouth Warriors have to rely without their top goal scorer as they continue to look for this opening goal. The longer it stays 0-0, that's surely going to be more favourable to Manchester City. Good work from Stephen Miller-Whittaker. Win his ball possession. So win his side possession on this right-hand side. Sebastian Spink in the centre. James Simpson well marked on the left-hand wing. Miller-Whittaker has to be careful. He's very close to Sebastian Spink. I think that's probably for them, from regional leagues to national league, the hardest thing to adapt to is the pace and how 2-on-1s will be awarded a lot stricter here than they would be in the regional league.
You're right, in the regional league, it's a lot slower. You got more developmental players playing in the league. In this league, everything happens quick and fast, and you need to create space to let that happen.
Good opportunity there for Chris King and AFC Bournemouth Warriors, just wide of the right-hand post.
I really do think Man City will benefit from having their middle guy in the middle of pitch when they're taking a goal kick.
Yeah.
At the moment, the wide players are being marked quite heavily, and there's nowhere to go with it. Maybe next season they'll have a bit more confidence to be able to do that.
I think that's only natural with them all having a year's more experience for pretty much all of these players. I think Stephen Miller-Whittaker may have National League experience, but beyond that, all of these players are experienced in the National League for the first time. So a season under their belt will only benefit them going forwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice assured clearance from Sebastian Spink. Still 0-0 in the game between Muscle Warriors and Norwich City on Court B. Adam Sevenoaks attempts an effort. Sebastian Spink could have probably left that. Corner kick for AFC Bournemouth Warriors.
Bournemouth probably need to make it count. 30 minutes to go. Timing running out to get that goal.
Adam Sevenoaks to take. Jack Ewins the closest option all the way back to Chris King. This is going to be an opportunity, brilliantly defended by Sebastian Spink, and the ricochet almost favourable to Man City and Stephen Miller-Whittaker, just wide.
When you're playing a team that can get the ball moving, sometimes getting in the way can create a deflection in your favour. You can capitalise on that.
Simpson.
I always like playing against a team who can knock the ball about, because if you get in the way, you never know where that goes.
Who's been your favourite opposition this season?
Well, I'm having a bit of a dry season. I've only got one goal all season, and that came against Greenbank.
It came against Greenbank. It's typical, the irony that if you're having a dry spell, you scored a goal against the leading team in the Championship. And I doubt Greenbank have conceded many goals overall. I don't have the stats to hand, but that's got to be an impressive accolade for yourself.
Well, I think I remember watching the game on replay, and you did comment it will be one of the very few goals.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping to get a few more before the season ends.
I'm sure you will.
Man City's running for Bournemouth are back on the approach.
Man City are definitely growing into this game, and I thought that the alteration that they made at half-time in substituting their three outfield players for their three options on the bench would probably aid AFC Bournemouth Warriors, who would try and capitalise on the transitional phase that Man City would have to adapt to. But they've been absolutely brilliant and picked up where they left off in the first half. If anything, they've broken a little bit more than they did in the first, and have been a little bit more of a threat for the Bournemouth goal. Nothing necessarily on target, but you've seen opportunities that Man City could and should have taken in pursuit of the opening goal.
Much more aggressive and really going for it. Maybe not towards the goal, but keeping that defensive line.
Go to Hannam, to Sebastian Spink. Two on one in favour of AFC Bournemouth Warriors. 10 minutes to go. Still absolutely nothing to separate these two teams. Jack Ewins to take. Adam Sevenoaks in space on this right-hand wing. Dakota Hannam on the left. Over to Sevenoaks. This is going to be a chance. Cleared by the front of Sebastian Spink's chair.
Man City ball.
I think one of the biggest compliments I can give to Manchester City is that their goalkeeper, Jay Pixton, has been fairly quiet in this second half. Hasn't had a great deal to do. I think credit for that is owed to Sebastian Spink, the player sitting just in front of him. He may be tested here as Jack Ewins advances down that right-hand wing of AFC Bournemouth Warriors, the left as you're viewing it.
Moment, take it quick. And they get it across.
Got to be careful of Dakota Hannam. Attempts an effort at goal. Nearly a goal. Sebastian Spink clears with the very back of his bumper.
Yeah, that really was the very back of his bumper.
It's very fine margins in this sport. It's a much better goal kick from Jay Pixton. Stephen Miller-Whittaker and James Simpson just too close to one another, so advantage played. Crucial interception from Sebastian Spink to take it out the path of Adam Sevenoaks. Chris King has an effort. You look at the space that there is in behind. Manchester City are able to break. Can most certainly force a goal scoring opportunity, and AFC Bournemouth Warriors are committing players forward in pursuit of this win. As mentioned at the start, a win for AFC Bournemouth Warriors would take them within a point of yourself, Sale United. And that's probably their aspirations now, is to try and leapfrog you in the standings.
Obviously, we go look at that, but we'll see what happens. We've got Nottingham next week, and that will be a good game.
James Simpson unable to connect there. Been very isolated out of this game. Miller Whittaker, the more active wide player, supporting the defence.
Most just need to keep calm and go to brave.
Exactly. Don't try not to look at the clock, because that can hurt you psychologically. They just keep doing what they have done for the 33 minutes so far. There's no reason why they can't secure a point, or if they capitalise on a chance such as this, take all three home with them.
Yeah, this is a great counter.
Once again,
Great counter.
Simpson
Oh,
too slow in vacating the space. It's that game awareness that will only increase week after week, season after season. They have to be careful there. Almost an own goal.
Oh,
That was very close. Chris King and Jack Ewins nearly gifting Manchester City the lead. Can they capitalise with this resulting corner kick?
and Bournemouth need to keep calm.
Yeah, they do. They really do. Into the box, Sebastian Spink attacks. Jack Ewins trying to relieve pressure on the defence. Keep an eye on James Simpson at the left. James Simpson has to vacate the space quicker to avoid them 2-on-1s. They don't want to give possession back to AFC Bournemouth Warriors, certainly when they're in attack.
Yeah, I think Neil will probably be a fair result.
Another 2-on-1. I think in the favour of Manchester City. Despite that, Jay Pixton was alert to that potential opportunity. Got 5 minutes remaining. AFC Bournemouth Warriors 0, Manchester City 0. This would be a brilliant point for Manchester City if they're able to secure it.
And I think they deserve it, right?
Oh, completely. That's sloppy from Stephen Miller Whittaker. Indirect free kick, so even if it was on target and had gone over the line, it wouldn't have counted. I want to see that game management just be a little bit better, giving possession straight back to AFC Bournemouth Warriors.
And sometimes you just gotta take your time.
Yeah.
You don't need to be rushing.
One thing that they'll have to, talking about game management, is winding down the clock, taking your time with set pieces, certainly when you would favour a point out of this fixture.
Yeah, I've been getting the most compliments away. Man City just need to keep doing what they're doing.
4 minutes to go.
That point.
Yeah, 4 minutes to go. This could be a really good opportunity. It's in a good position for Jack Ewins. Chris King in the box, but look how many players for Bournemouth have committed themselves forward. Just wide of the left-hand post. Just wide. Dakota Hannum not quite quick enough to capitalise. Chris King was there in support. It's going to be a corner kick, and once again all 8 players in the half of Manchester City. If Manchester City are able to break, they will almost certainly have a goal scoring opportunity via either James Simpson or Stephen Miller Whittaker. Into the box, Chris King attempts an effort at goal off the front of Sebastian Spink's chair, and a follow-up effort from Dakota Hannum wide of the right hand post. Not before a 2-on-1 awarded in Manchester City's favour. I have to commend the defending of Manchester City there.
Absolutely.
They don't look overwhelmed, overawed by AFC Bournemouth Warriors. They've maintained their calmness across the 37 minutes, and a point is the least they deserve, and that's where I talk about game management. Just clearing it out of danger, up the court. Now it's the job of Stephen Miller Whittaker to ensure that Sevenoaks doesn't take clear possession of this ball from Ewins. Spink likewise with Chris King in the centre. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Just managing the game. 2.5 minutes to be played. And this is a real opportunity. well wide from Chris King, who couldn't quite get his coordination or timing to trouble Jay Pixton or Sebastian Spink.
He will be happy with himself with that one.
Straight out of play from Sebastian Spink.
Again, it's about keeping calm. And that's not easy. Our heartbeat will be going crazy right now. It's just about keeping a clear head.
I'd like to see Miller Whitaker continue to reverse down that right-hand wing and take possession there.
90 seconds to go for Man City.
Final few seconds. Daniel, I'm going to push you for a player of the match. Don't say it just yet. We'll make sure that the game's outcome is decided, but have a think who you're going to select.
I've already decided the player I'm going to pick and take a phenomenal game, both at the back and going forward.
That's a really good goal kick. And Chris King, and it's gone in! Sebastian Spink has scored a goal in the final minute of the game. Chris King just didn't know how to receive that attempt.
Unbelievable.
And I cannot believe it. Their only effort on goal. Sebastian Spink has almost certainly secured his team 3 points here.
Unbelievable goal. Oh, what was that? Was that a goal kick?
I think it was a free kick or a goal kick. I haven't even processed it. I just can't believe that managed to find the gap in between Jack Ewins and Adam Sevenoaks. And Chris King will be bitterly disappointed. Can Manchester City stay resolute? We're into additional time now, so anything that Ian Harley has accrued across this second half, this would be a sensational win for Manchester City, who have been superb all game. And that is it! Daniel, what a game.
Did that goal actually count?
Did it count?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it did.
I thought it gave a goal kick.
A goal kick from that?
I don't know. I'm confused. But what a game. What a game. Anyway, my man back was in. I hope he gets that. I hope it was a goal. But I don't know.
Judging by the reactions, I don't think it was. Very muted from Manchester City.
I mean, we deserve that goal.
It's because it would have been an indirect free kick. I thought that Chris King got a touch, and it would have had to go on via the chair of an opponent or a teammate.
I'll be very happy with that, though. 0-0. Very good performance and very, very unlucky not to be going away with a 1-0 win.
So, disregard the score on the graphic. I think that is 0-0. That finishes. But what a game of football. Manchester City were absolutely brilliant throughout. So resolute defensively. Oscar Spink in the first half. Sebastian Spink in the second. Thank you to all that have joined myself and Daniel for this one. You're up next on Court A against Teesside. So look forward to watching you on that one.
Keep watching. It'll be a good game.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.